Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday update. My shirt says access to my energy is a privilege. It's made by a black woman owned company here in Portland called Portland X Rose. So check them out if you want something like this. They do a lot of stuff like this. Time for the Monday update. Hello everyone. I am Marina. I am a communications and equity consultant here in Portland, Oregon. It is the first Monday update of 2021. Oh my God. Last week, usually on Monday, I talk about my intentions for the week and then come back on Thursday and talk about how I did. Last Thursday was a holiday for us, so I did not do my update. Last week's intention was to prioritize rest over work. Did I do that? No. I don't want to get around, success and failure is an artificial binary. So let's talk about that. Did I do better than I've done in the past on that task? Hell yes. Yes. That was unmitigated, much better than usual. Did I do as well as I wish I had done? No. There were definitely things I put urgency on that didn't have urgency on them. They weren't naturally urgent events, and I made them feel urgent so that I could focus on them. Were there times when, if I had just gone and taken a goddamn nap or a walk or eaten a fruit or watched some TikTok or whatever, that task would have actually taken less time and been accomplished at a higher level of quality, except what I did instead was push through and create a product that was kind of shitty. And honestly, some of those need to be redone. So I created way more work for myself by trying to push through and get this shit done when A, it didn't need to be done. It didn't. And B, it definitely didn't need to be done like that. I could have watched TV instead. That's dumb as hell. Yes, I did those things. But were there a bunch of things that I took off my plate when I realized that they didn't need to be done? Yes. Was there a point in time where I stopped that process of shaming myself into trying to work through exhaustion for no good reason with terrible consequences? Yes. So I put a stop to that crappy behavior faster than I have in the past. And also I still did it, which that wasn't really what I wanted to do. But it's what I did. And on on further examination, really what I was doing is that I have a shitload, and I had way more of it at the end of the year, a shitload of anxiety about 2021. Part of that is just that I am afraid of change. Part of that is also that 2021 is looking real good for us. And because of my background, because of my history, because of the shit that I've been through, I have a response to things looking good that used to serve me, but it doesn't serve me anymore. Back when I was a child, back when things were really bad, when things started to look good, that sense of hope, that sense of excitement for the future, that shit could actually do me way more harm when things didn't work out. And because I lived and grew up in a very precarious situation, financially, physically, safety-wise, with mentally ill people, when things started to look good, frequently that was actually, that was occasion for people to, we have a little bit more money, so we're getting high more, or we have a little bit more money, so our mental illnesses are coming out because we're feeling safe to express our true thoughts and feelings, which are maybe not safe thoughts or feelings, etc. So when I'm looking at the future and I'm seeing it look good, that can be a trigger for me in terms of my anxiety and my fear and straight up my PTSD. Because things looking good wasn't always a sign that things were actually going to turn out well for me in my childhood. But that's 30 years ago. That's a while. We have a different life now, me and my thoughts and my trauma and my inner child and all that shit, and my family and everybody. Things have changed. So rather than deal with the fact that the end of the year and the beginning of a new year, and also the sort of like, New Year's is always a triggery holiday for me anyway, because so many people get so intoxicated and behave so badly at New Year's, which is not a great environment for me to be in. But also, just this is where we were last time. This is where I was last year. At this time, I was ending 2019. It had been a hard year. And actually, I would say 2019 for me was a much worse year than 2020 internally inside myself with what I was struggling with. But I was coming out of it. Things were looking good. Things were looking up. I was very excited about 2020 this time last year. So for us to be back here again another year later, and for me to feel that again, that excitement for 2021, it was triggering. It was definitely, I was triggered. And you all can have your own feelings about what a snowflake I am. Whatever. But it was hard for me to think about the year changing. And I was very afraid that the same thing that happened last year was going to happen this year. And I mean, my other internal voice, my good positive voice that I've grown over the last couple of years was like, what do you mean? Like, you start a new business and it becomes successful and you get to live your best life and stay at home like you wanted and make more money than you ever did before? Is that what you think 2021 is going to be like? Because that sounds great. But also 2020 was a lot of struggle. You know that. You were here too. So instead of feeling my feelings, basically, I decided to work a lot. And when I was not working on work, when I was like, okay, this is actually toxic working behavior. You don't need to work on this right now. You do not need to be up this late on this. I successfully put that down. And then I started cleaning. And cleaning for me is such a hard thing to do. My husband actually calls it punishment cleaning. Because cleaning can really help me when I'm feeling very amped up and pent up. Cleaning is also something that tires me out, tires my body out, so I don't have to think about my feelings or feel them or process them, and it can be really harmful. So that's what I did for most of the last 4-day weekend, was just clean and stress out about cleaning and do productive things that weren't work. So work on my goals, work on my blog, work on all this other stuff that's not work, but it's labor. And then Sunday night, so last night, kind of lost it. Was so exhausted. Was just like, why isn't all of this work I'm doing making me feel better? And it's because work used to make me feel better when I was avoiding my feelings and when I didn't have a clear path between my body and my mind and I didn't know how to feel my feelings. Now that I have this other thing where I can feel my feelings and I can process them, this doesn't work anymore. This cleaning the kitchen until I'm dropping shit because I'm so exhausted doesn't work anymore. But I was trying to do it because I didn't want to feel that anxiety and that fear, and I didn't want to address that. So last night, at the end of the day, finally got it through my fucking head that I just needed to disengage and just completely chill and allow my feelings to happen. Went and played some video games to sort of let my body and my mind know that okay, we're ready, we're relaxing, we're chill, we're not doing activities. And for me, video games is like that. Some people, video games is an engaging activity, and cleaning is the activity that lets you know that you're ready to feel feelings. I didn't make people. I don't know why we're like this, but we are. So I did that. I ended up having, anxiety, insomnia most of the night. And then, this morning woke up super hella early because of insomnia. Had 2 hours of sleep under my belt. And I realized, this is a setup. I could just start the day right now. I could just be like, you know what? I've done more on less sleep. I have. And just go about my day. And I was like, no. I took the whole morning off. I slept for 4 more hours. I got up after my workday had already started. I checked in, made sure everything was good. It was. And then I took a leisurely ass morning. I took time to make myself breakfast. I sat and watched a calming YouTube while I ate my breakfast. I, just chilled out. I made myself coffee. I made myself tea. Then I got ready. And then I came to work 2.5 hours late. Still got almost everything done. When I take care of myself, this shit isn't hard. But it's hard to remember that the self-care needs to come first. So, my intention for the week is the same. Put rest over work. I'm going to keep it this intention until I get better at this, because this is clearly a necessary skill. What's your intention? Put it below. Have a good week, everybody.